Hi, welcome to my new episode. This is more about the workplace culture, and the speak up culture and everything. And the topic is we why people don't speak up at work, even in America. So this is the topic, and I hope this interests you. Subscribe to my channel, share this video to others, your friends, and make sure you click on like. You can comment, and if you want to have a debate one-on-one, please go ahead and say we can have a debate one-on-one, or we can have a podcast one-on-one together, and we can talk about it. Okay. So uh, what I'm going to talk about here in the next couple of minutes is about why always we hear about the speak up culture in corporate America, open communication, transparency, psychological safety. But let's be real. Most people don't feel safe speaking up at work. In fact, many are terrified. Why? Because behind the slogans of all these things, what they put up in the companies and HR posters, there's quite the truth. There's a quiet truth that people are afraid of losing their jobs, their stability, sometimes even their dignity. That's how the companies treat them. The middle managers treat them. The CIOs, the CEOs, okay? The illusion of freedom, okay? America is known for free speech. But inside the workplace, the freedom stops at the manager's door. Most employees know this. One wrong word, one uncomfortable truth, and your reputation can change drastically overnight. Suddenly, you're the negative one, the troublemaker, creating trouble, and you're not a good cultural fit for the company or for the team. Okay, this has happened to me personally. I've been in 13 jobs in this country. It's not because I jump jobs, because I love jumping jobs. I want to be in one company for the next 20 years to live and retire from there. But unfortunately, it could be either the political shit that goes on within the co-workers, or with another team, or with your manager sometimes. Most of the time, I've never encountered anything with my managers or my senior managers, but it's mostly very few companies that has happened, which I will give you details, but not specifically about what company it was. So next is the fear factor. Let's talk about the fear. Not just fear of being fired, but fear of subtle punishment. Yes, you talk, you speak up, you're the bad guy. You're the troublemaker. You know what? You will get punished. You will not get projects. You will not be assigned work. You will not be doing anything. For example, I'll give you one example. Just casually, I told my manager in one job, because I've been in many companies where they do cross training. So I just told him in a casual way, it'll be nice if we cross train other person to this, what I do or what he does and everything, it'll be nice. Oh, that became a bad shit, and he went and complained this to a project manager, stating that, oh, he's telling me what to do and how to do my job, kind of thing, which I did not know what exactly he said, but that particular PM did not tell me exactly what he said. And that person said, oh, you should not have spoken anything, you should have just kept yourself and everything. So that means there's no speak up culture. You cannot say anything. You have to shut your mouth, zip it up. If you're wrong, if he's wrong, if the others are wrong, fine, you have to shut your mouth. Okay. So uh, retaliation today doesn't always mean losing your job. It's being excluded from the meetings, ground for, ignored for promotions, or receiving vague negative feedback in your performance. I remember, I in one company where I was performing in the agile world. I was the top three performer. The first two were not in my team; they were a different team, and I was the top performer in my team, and two others were below me. But you know what? I was out because the reason being I was I spoke up for something. After that, I shut my mouth. I never said anything. And the middle manager is my immediate supervisor, used to treat me shit. And today I was listening to compliance and the speak up culture episode with a couple of, a CEO from one technology company. I don't want to mention the name, and some lady from Europe, another person, three, four people were discussing, and they were talking about the middle managers. Okay, the middle manager is the cause for the problems, or in some cases, I have seen, if he is not proper, below him, whoever the staffs are, they're not going to speak up. Sometimes staff below are, they cannot speak up at all. They cannot discuss. They say they have an open door policy. Do you think they really have an open door policy? No. You go tell them something, the next day you have a retaliation coming. And I was retaliated because I confronted what they were doing was wrong. Okay? And then most people have, are receiving. That's what I said. Why we have the fear factor is because we all have mortgages to pay, we have bills to pay, we have children to support, we have school fees or anything if they're private school or whatever it is. You have your insurance to pay, your car bill, payments to make. You have so many things, but if you do speak up, you're screwed. You're literally, I would say the word effed. Okay, you have health insurance, you need that. In this country you cannot survive without that. So they choose silence over risk. It's not weakness, it's survival strategy in America. That's what you do. And I think it's the same thing in other countries. I've not worked in um, other countries. I worked like in Singapore, I worked in Malaysia, I worked in the Middle East. Okay, there also, I don't think so. I have not seen the politics much because I was shot there for a couple of years, but I don't know exactly. The next thing is what I want to discuss, the culture of positivity. Modern workplaces love to talk about positivity and teamwork. Do you think really that's happening? No. But that other means often means don't question the system. Don't question what I decide. Do not do anything what don't make anyone uncomfortable here. Okay, so when I am doing my job and if I'm saying something is wrong or something, we need to fix it. Okay, for example, I'll do give an example. I was doing some testing work and I expected, okay, I'm doing it. Can I ask somebody else to help me to do the test and to see whether he's seeing the same results? Oh, don't ask any help. You're on your own. You do it on your own. Honest conversations are labeled as complaints. So if you are a honest person at work, like me, who has suffered, who's been bruised, who's been knocked down in many jobs, okay, you are labeled as a complainer, a troublemaker. So people are wearing masks. They play along even when they are broken. So this is what is happening. Okay. Now the other thing is, where's the problem? The leadership problem. True leadership invites honesty, but too often managers get defensive and challenged. So I was telling about, cross training some my work to somebody else, his work, so that, when I'm on call, I can support his product or something like that. That became a big issue, and from then on I was, labeled as something, and I was not assigned projects, I was not told anything. There was a merger and I was not told about the I was not involved in that merger, transitions. I have worked in so many transitions, and this bloody fellow who's my manager never even knew how much, how many servers I would have built, how many systems I would have backed up, how many systems or issues I would have troubleshooted, and everything, many things he doesn't know. He just comes from a school district, and this is the guy who goes and buys HDMI cable in Best Buy, buys laptops in Best Buy and puts it on the workplace, not ordering from the company or nothing. A guy who goes and buys from Best Buy and Staples and brings that and puts it on the thing. That's the kind of guy. What does he know? Nothing. Has he worked in Fortune 500 companies? Has he worked in Fortune 100 companies? No. But he's the guy who's managing the whole shit. Okay? Instead of listening, they protect their ego. They don't want their ego. Okay? So even if a company has an anonymous feedback tool or a hotline that you can file a complaint, employees know it doesn't matter. I'll tell you one example for this. My own friend who worked with me in one company, not friend, he was another guy, but he knew technically I was very good. So he wanted me to come back when he became a manager in some other company, and he wanted me to join him. And it's, you know how when somebody joins and moves to a company, they want to bring their own people. So that's happened here, which I don't know about all those strategies. So I went and joined him. So I was doing the job what he wanted. Everything was fine, but he was backstabbing me behind, and I was not knowing about this whole thing. Then, when a survey came and something I said about it, the HR went and told him about that John said something like this or something like that, and oh, you went and told the HR like this and something. So hotlines or you go tell open door policy doesn't work. I don't know why the corporate people don't know. I've done leadership and ethical decision making, and I've done how navigating in uncertainties, how to navigate the companies in my MBA and everything. But all this is just a talk, and implementing this is very difficult. No one really acts on it. And once people lose trust, the silence becomes permanent. So, how do we fix this? This is what I want to know. A real speak up culture doesn't come from HR policies, it comes from leadership behavior. Okay? Managers need to say, "Thank you for speaking up." Have you seen any place where they say, if you speak up, a manager saying, "You spoke up, it's nice that we are hearing you"? They need to protect people who question, not punish them. And employees, we need to support each other. When someone speaks truth, don't let them stand alone. But everybody is, it's a survival strategy. So the next time you hear about speak up culture, remember, it's not about having a fancy slogan, it's about creating safety, emotional, financial, and professional safety. Because people don't stop speaking up because they don't care, they stop because nobody listens. Okay? I am John, and this is my channel, which is Chicago Nights, and where we talk about the truth behind the buzzwords. That's what I do. Okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and tell me in the comments, have you ever stayed silent at work because you are afraid to speak up? I have done that. In the last job, I was totally I'll tell you, my wife will be sitting and watching my manager, me taking shit from my manager. She says, "How are you tolerating this guy?" I said, "You know what? We have to pay our bills. We have to pay our mortgage. We have to pay our car loan. We have to pay all the things we have. If I open my mouth, I'm screwed." So I shut up. But still, they screwed me. Okay? So I hope you all like this. Try to like and subscribe, and then try to make sure that I can be of any help. You can comment. If you want to have a podcast between you and me, we can talk about it. And as an immigrant, you know how much I've gone through here. People do not know. And now, after my last job, it's been 7 months. I'm still trying to get back to workforce. And I'll talk about the interview processes that goes on and what all I have come across, how stupid and how some guys think they're great and we are stupid, or I'm stupid. And I will talk about that also in the future in the episodes. Thank you, and hope you like it.